Okay, well, hello everyone. This is Arturelia Film Room Reviews featuring Sin's Corner, who also does reviews. She cries,
My
she
gosh,
laughs.
here we go again.
She does both at the same time. Can you believe it? She's gifted, but
Just cry at the same time.
but yeah, today we're going to be reviewing Kong versus
Godzilla versus Kong
or,
is the official title. I kept saying Kong versus Godzilla,
yeah,
but it's Godzilla
or
versus
Godzilla
Kong.
versus Kong. Either or.
Are we going to make this a spoiler review?
No, I don't want to.
There's so much I want to say about
we
it.
could, and I'll just put a number here in case we do get into spoiler territory. But yeah, this is kind of almost like you would consider this franchise almost like the MCU, where it was building up a few years, except just with 3 films, and now we have the finale. I guess you could say. A finale?
I guess it was a finale. I don't know. Are there plans to make more? I mean,
it did well, but we just saw it. What do we think about it? Now, I will note, I've only seen the first Godzilla, Skull Island. She's seen the third one.
I've seen all of them.
You've seen all of them. I've only seen this one, so I can't say much about the third one. But, yeah, let's just talk about our opinions about this film. So basically, the story, it's set obviously after the other Godzillas and way after Skull Island.
Yeah,
because
that was like the 70s, and Kong was a juvenile at that point.
He was a young
He's a
kid.
full-grown adult now. He's old.
He's old.
I mean,
he's like,
you know,
enjoying life sort of, but he's not, because he knows he's in a place.
Yeah.
And then you have, for some reason, Godzilla destroying things. Is there a reason?
Why is he hurting people? They don't understand. What's going on?
Does he sense a disturbance in the force, or is he turning to the dark side?
Yeah, disturbance.
Who knows? I mean, Godzilla's been pretty good about protecting society, but no, he's gone rogue for some reason. And apparently there's something, it was something that they wanted to get to be able to defeat Godzilla, and it had something to do, well, it explains what they need, but I don't want to go into too much because I had no idea.
I didn't know it was going to go in the direction it went, honestly.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised when they ended up in that place, and I was like, okay, holy cow, how are they going to come back from this, and what's going on, and where are we going with this?
Yeah. It took a different route than what I was expecting, but anyways, they also need to use Kong to get there?
To lead them to where they have to go.
Yeah.
The problem is, and this isn't spoilery because this is kind of the whole point of the movie, the problem is bringing Kong out into the world means that Godzilla will be able to detect him, and he's going to want to challenge him because Godzilla is the king of all the Titans, all the monsters, and he will not tolerate another alpha.
Oh no, this is my property. I take turns on this side.
Godzilla's real big-headed about that.
He's a jerk. Yeah, and Kong, you feel bad for him. He's always getting killed in every single movie.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't killed in Skull Island. I've always liked Kong. I'm Team Kong.
Same here, but yeah, there are points where they do get out twice.
Yes.
Twice in this film, they do get out. I don't want to go into much more details.
You say get out, what do you mean? Like the
do
fight?
Get out.
Oh,
yeah.
do get out. I thought you said do get out. They do get out, yes. Twice. There are 2 scenes. The second one lasts quite a bit longer. That's like at the climax. I will say that...
Well, I don't want to go into too much...
Yeah, we're trying to avoid spoilers, but the problem is I have some issues with this movie. And
okay, well, we'll get to the spoiler section in a bit, but let's just say... yeah, the plot... You expect that this plot will take you somewhere else instead of what you were expecting.
Well,
now...
Yeah, I certainly... I don't know if this is touched on in the synopsis that is given for the movie, because I never read the synopsis or anything.
I mean,
it would explain why
the creatures where
Why
they're
they
somewhat
existed, where
coming
they
from.
came from.
So it does fill in that gap. On the other hand, it does. Let's just say it takes you out of this world.
Yeah.
Now,
all right, the movie's absurd in a lot of ways. It's absurd, but the thing is, I think it knows it's absurd. What were we saying?
editing looked good.
The digital effects, the monsters looked cool. I love when they snarl and scream, and Godzilla spits his blue fire out, or whatever the heck that stuff is, and
also there's the detail of it. You could just see all that detail on Godzilla's face,
and Kong's too.
Yeah, Kong. I really had no issues whatsoever with the editing or how the film looked visually. It looked nice. Now, obviously, this would be a big dream come true for both Godzilla fans and King Kong fans.
Well, this isn't the first time they've fought.
Really?
Yes, there was a movie in the 60s where Kong and Godzilla fought. And in that movie, it was kind of like a draw-ish. And I had read that people were a little bit unhappy with that. They wanted something definitive. I feel like in this one, I had heard we got something really definitive, and we did sort of, kind of, but not really.
But not really.
That's the thing. So it was a little bit frustrating. It didn't end up in the way that I was hoping.
But it feels like they want to. Okay, well, we'll get into the spoiler aspect. Now, for the enjoyment, personally, I did enjoy it. Obviously, I know that the whole destruction of cities and all that.
Oh my goodness, there was so much destruction.
There's this anime I'm watching right now called Gridman, but it's basically kind of like that, except they go into like this robotic machine. However, there is a bit of a catch about why the town when the town gets destroyed. A little bit of spoiler. For some reason, it gets rebuilt and people forget what happened. Oh. So it's a kind of unique concept besides them having to rebuild and they get destroyed. Because that happens a lot, like in Godzilla. And that's a cool, unique look to it. Though in here, you get kind of the same thing with just destruction of cities.
Oh my goodness, skyscrapers going down left and right. And you know what? They don't seem to,
they're giants.
Godzilla and Kong, they're not necessarily bad.
But people are getting in the way.
But there is a lot of destruction that they're leaving in their wake, and they're killing people in the midst of all their fighting. And so it's just like so much death that's going on with these two titans as they're.
But the film's like, nah, it'll be fine.
Goodness. But at the same time, you're not really blaming them. It's not like they're going out of their way to hurt people. It's just they hurt people in the middle of the other stuff they're doing.
Hey, we made a society, and these beasts used to roam probably open fields with no. So it's like maybe they don't really think of it like that.
They don't have any concept of that at all.
They're animals.
They don't understand. Obviously they don't understand. But at the same time, like I said, they're not going. This is what distinguishes them from the bad ones. They're not trying to kill people. They're not trying to. Some of the other monsters, they are, and so that's why Godzilla is deemed as a good monster, and Kong is deemed as a good one. Yeah. But even though they are still killing people, you don't necessarily see all the killing that they're doing, but it's happening as they're crashing into buildings and skyscrapers are falling. Yeah. And he's jumping on the ships, and the ships are going down.
You're going down. The first battle was pretty cool with them in the water. Ocean. Yeah,
and that shows in the trailer.
I like the the opening scene of the film. It shows all the previous events that happened.
Yeah, like a montage.
I liked all that. It had some little bit of historical events going on mixed with that, and then you get to the title, and it's like, yes, you're ready for it. I like that. Now, a little bit of a spoiler section. You can skip this number because technically I try not to get into too much spoilers.
You can put a chapter marker when the spoilers are done.
Let's just say the final battle between the two. Now, you may know there's another side that comes along and causes things, and
as people suspected, yes.
Now, it's cool enough to see two of these titans team up, but you do want to see an outcome of who would really have won.
And okay, spoiler section here. It leaves you with the impression that Godzilla absolutely won. Because he got Kong down. Yeah, and Kong was knocked unconscious. He didn't get back up. Then when they jump-started his heart with the with the
Yeah.
some of this stuff was just like, okay. And number one, how did that guy know how to fly this machine? He's not even a pilot.
Well, his brother was. Maybe he learned some. I mean, didn't he used to work with the company or something?
But he wasn't a pilot, and this was a machine he'd never flown before. But suddenly he knew how to fly this machine out from the center of the Earth, or the hollow Earth, or whatever it was called. Anyway, so these were things that were bothering me. Like, some people were annoyed in Wonder Woman 84 that Steve Trevor knew how to fly this modern plane, but he was a pilot. He had the basic understanding of what does what. Even though it's all modern, he still understood the basics. This guy was not ever represented as a pilot, I don't think.
Yeah, a bit of an
issue
there.
He could fly this machine that could stand going down into the hollow Earth, that could withstand all that. This was a futuristic, like, and that kind of blew my mind. But then also when they went down into, see, these are the issues, some of the issues I have with it. When they went down into hollow Earth, how did they know they could even breathe the air? Okay, they didn't even step out with any sort of helmet on or anything. How did they know Kong would know what? I guess Kong was kind of like driven by his instinct. This is where he came from. This is like, or his origins, his ancestors. So he kind of would just instinctively know. But that sort of stuff bothered me, and also the characters. Okay, so the characters that were in the other one, the guy and his daughter. I really don't get the point of them being in here, honestly. It felt like they were just there
more like a fan service.
Kind of just to connect you to the other movie. Millie Bobby Brown's character was just like her going off and sneaking into all these places, and it's like, what is the point? And in the end, the thing that really shut down Mecha, I guess you could say, or kind of took away some of his power, was when one of them just spills a drink into the electronics, which I didn't understand, because I thought Mecha was kind of disconnected from all that, so why would the electronics even still be able to affect him if they mess up the electronics?
He was still working. I think it just messed him up a little bit, but it didn't.
I mean, yeah, he was still working. It weakened him to the point that Kong and Godzilla could then just wail on him and you know, destroy him. But the fight between Kong and Godzilla, like I said, it
probably the only better part about the film is just when they duke it out.
And it's at the same time, it's kind of sad because these are not bad characters, and you don't. I was mentioning on made a comment on a YouTube video right before we started filming that it kind of made me feel bad because you like both of those. I mean, I'm Team Kong, but I like Godzilla too.
I mean, he does. He basically follows his instinct to destroy what would destroy humanity. Yeah.
Well,
from what we've seen, like he. Isn't his instinct
he protects humanity from
and just
threats.
Just planet Earth in general.
But I felt like how I felt when Captain America and Iron Man were fighting in Civil War. It's like, but I like these two characters, but I'm Team Cap. But it kind of bothered me. Okay, so like I said, it ends up that Godzilla's the winner. But you could take it to where, well, maybe not, because Godzilla couldn't beat Mecha on his own. Yeah. He needed Kong to help him beat Mecha.
And then Kong could have continued to fight because he had...
Yeah, at the end when they were having the face-off, they could have continued the battle. Kong had that charged-up hatchet of his, or whatever that thing was, and yet he put it down because he remembered the little girl. Kong can speak sign language in this film, and so the little girl had said, he's not your enemy, you know, he's not bad. And so they basically are getting ready to potentially have another standoff, and then they both decide to walk away from it. So you could take it that Godzilla's the winner, or you could take it that, well, Kong really could be, because Godzilla was getting his ass kicked by Mecha Godzilla, and it was Kong that saved him. But if you're going to talk about just as far as, you know, comparing the strengths of them, if you're going to talk about the two of them facing off, then Godzilla was the winner.
Because Godzilla's isn't he a little bit bigger and just mass size?
He seemed like Kong was really big beside him, but Godzilla was.
But I feel like
bigger.
Yeah, it's just that Godzilla has all that kind of like
Godzilla has
hard
flesh. He's got that hard skin, and he also can charge up and do this flame
I can
stuff.
see why Godzilla could have won, but the problem is
Kong is only fighting with his. But then he had that weapon too.
The problem is Godzilla is not really there to fight Kong. He's there to destroy the so-and-so.
Well, in the last battle, in the first battle between them, he was there specifically to get Kong, because he detected Kong. Yeah. In the water, he could detect Kong. And that's when they came.
He's like, "Hoo-wee, hell no!"
You ain't taking my place. I am top dog here. One of the things about monster movies, some people complain about too much human stuff going on in monster movies.
That was the first Godzilla. I didn't mind that.
I actually like it because I get a little bored and the thrill wears off when it's too much monster stuff. So I like it when there's a good balance of it. And
how do you think this movie balanced besides the last one?
There was more human stuff going on in this one.
Yeah.
Than the last one.
I feel like this one actually tried to balance out more, more human stuff in the first Godzilla. Mm-hmm. A lot of action with monsters in the third Godzilla. Now, Skull Island was kind of there was that mixture of both.
Skull Island was, to me, now it's been a while since I've seen the first Godzilla, but Skull Island, to me, it seemed like there was more of the human stuff going on than there was the monster stuff. And maybe that's why, out of all of them, Skull Island is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, overall, though, it is a fun film. If you want to see these two iconic titans face out and destroy everything in their path.
Oh my goodness.
It was like nonstop.
I just can't believe that King of the Monsters has a higher score than Skull Island.
Yeah,
that just blows me away.
But
an audience score, as far as audience score.
Yeah, now the human perspective, it's pretty interesting, except for, I like to see what was going on between them, where they were, and then the others above, trying to investigate.
Yeah, there was investigations
because they know there's weird things going on with this company.
Yeah.
That wants to make something that ends up being the finale of the...
Well, he wants to make a tool to be able to defeat Godzilla, because I guess he doesn't trust Godzilla not to come around and destroy things. So I can sort of kind of understand why he did what he did.
And his daughter, but
Yeah. When the kid that was tagging along with the Stranger Things girl, and he's like trying to crack the password to get into the system, and I was thinking to myself, in what planet do you really think that you can crack the password in this highly secure system? And then he was telling him, well, I've only illegally downloaded movies. I was like, he's not even a hacker, and he's trying to guess these passwords. And I was thinking to myself, if he cracks that password, that is just absolutely too insane. He didn't. That's when he spilled the stuff.
Yeah, because he doesn't. Yeah.
But
there are some issues with the writing with some of the characters, a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it, but some of the stuff was. I mean, it's probably my third favorite.
Overall, I would say, if you want to see Kong and Godzilla do their thing,
that's all you care about is the monsters fighting. It. You're gonna love this movie.
Yeah.
It is well done in that regard. I mean, they really do. I really like how they represented the monsters and the roaring that they do to each other. You feel powerful when you're watching them because you're like, yeah.
It's like Attack on Titan, sort of, except different concept.
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
Well, Godzilla vs. Kong. To me, yeah, I enjoyed it. There are some issues. We can agree. Yeah. But through this time period, I mean, by the time you watch this, probably in the future, but this time period has been hard on the film industry, so this is kind of a waking call to get things back to where it sort of was, you know?
It's exciting to see that this movie did very, very, very well overseas, because it opened in other countries before it came here last weekend, and I think it pulled in 122 million, so that was really heartening to see. The 70 million in China alone.
So I
think it's going to do really good this weekend.
Like, I know there's issues with this film, we get it, but it's
got
still
a high
nice.
Critical rating.
It's still a fun film if you want to see these iconic Titan characters duke it out. I've had a lot of complaints when it comes to the whole wokeness deal, but this is something kind of refreshing to get away from that.
This had none of that. There was no sort of narrative agenda. If anything, I mean, there was the typical big businessman bad guy dude who was doing this stuff, but it wasn't anything.
I don't think it really pushed too much of that. It just showed
it was just this
Kong
simple story.
And Godzilla, and I mean, this actually makes me want to revisit Skull Island.
Yeah, that's the best one.
For rating wise, I think I was kind of aiming for a 7.
Probably give it a 7, 7.5. I liked Wonder Woman 84 better than this.
Even though I would give... Yeah, to me,
You know what I
I
mean?
personally... It's hard. I liked the whole thing with Godzilla and Kong and everything connected with this film universe. But, you know, I also see the flaws. So, probably, yeah, for me, maybe a 7.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And you'll enjoy it.
But definitely better than the last one.
It's almost like Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom sort of deal. You turn up your mind, just watch it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'd say I would check it out. I think it's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Obviously, there's the other recommendations. I mean, we're obviously going to bring up the past ones.
Well, chronologically, Skull Island is first, even though Godzilla came out first.
Yeah.
And then Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
I saw the first Godzilla. I actually didn't mind that one. That one obviously had a little more human.
Yeah,
stuff,
there was more.
Which I think it didn't hurt the film. People had issues with it.
Because I think in these movies, people want to see mostly the monster stuff.
But they don't have much. Like, they're not human though. So
see, that's why only seeing the monster stuff kind of is boring to me. I like the human connection involved, so that doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. But anyways, you could follow my mom at Sin's Corner where she laughs, cries.
There we go.
And yeah, this is a new.
This is your tagline for me? Okay.
Yeah, tagline. Her freak out over Justice League or what have you. Her flip out, you know.
That was such a good movie. We need to do a spoiler review.
I do believe it has beaten Terminator.
No, it hasn't beaten Terminator 2. It really hasn't.
Yeah, you could follow her there. And if you feel like seeing more stuff like this, you could subscribe to me or follow me on Facebook. I'm kind of spreading out my videos a little bit more on other platforms just because YouTube does not respect copyright stuff.
Yeah, it's not really YouTube. They're kind of forced to do it, but their system is still really messed up.
Yeah, so you could find... I'm uploading my videos on Facebook as of this recording, and then there's Odyssey, but Odyssey's a little bit weird too.
Yeah.
So I'm spreading out. You can find me there, and then I also got Discord. She's on Discord. She's not on it a lot, but her video... I'm trying to get her videos to pop up, so you could be up to date on her videos too. Actually, all of you got Corey Michaels movies.
Yeah.
Who's right, who's wrong. But anyways, peace.
Adios.
And you know, I think Justice League has won.
No, it hasn't.
We're going down!
Oh, we have no light down here with us. Now you gotta turn it off. We have to keep this.